start again. It's a redskin.
The front brakes. Don't even get me started with the front brakes. So we'll leave that for a little bit, for another day. But yeah, supposedly I got a notification that my Chase Bay's brake lines were delivered. So I'll be able to pick those up tomorrow morning. On the engine, all I need is to do the loop in there. What else? Run the harness. I do with the Chase Bay's brake line tuck kit. I ordered his clutch line as well, so that should be in there as well. I still want to do some sort of a wire cover. I'm looking at a billet aluminum black wire cover since I can't get the Kevlar one. And I got to run the throttle cable. And what else? I mean, other than the wiring, yeah, I got to make the hood pins. I already started those, but I'm not really. I've been doing something on with my forge. I have a metal forge that you heat up metal and stuff like that, but it's been so hot that I really don't want to run it. And I need the forge to bend some metal to make the hood pins. So that's why I haven't been making them, because it's just been so hot. I do have to make, it looks like the base for these seats. I just can't seem to find them. I'm not sure why. But I mean, I looked at the base for that are on the Recaros, and I've made the bases before. Like I had way back when I used to have the old Tenzo R racing bucket seats, and I made the bases for them out of like 1/8 inch, strap steel. So that's what I'm thinking of doing, is just doing that. I do need another seat, like I say, for that other side, but that's going to be later on. The carpet, again, I can't do that until I get the brakes in, so that'll be probably not for another couple of weeks. And I think that's about it. So yeah, I'm just gonna hopefully tomorrow to go to the post office and see what has come in. Alright, so got some mail in today. We'll kind of go through it. This is some 12AN or -12AN hose for that loop that I got to make. And I actually bought these to go on the ends of the hose. Now the inner diameter of the hose is 5/8, so mistakenly I bought 5/8 inch OD hose finishers. So these aren't going to work. I need -12 hose is, the finishers are really hard to find for some reason. I'm not sure why. I also picked these up, and in the package, when you see them, you kind of look at it like that. And I thought that the hole went all the way through, because I have the extended lug nuts, and I wanted to put these blue lug nuts on there. These are from Ray's. I don't think they're going to work. I don't know. Anyways, this little thing I picked up came from Poland, and it's like a little cassette if you guys know what, all you younger guys aren't going to know what a cassette is, but it's basically one of the you know, it had music on it, had like a ribbon. I don't know, look it up, Google it. But anyways, yeah, this is something I found. It's pretty good shape, so now I could put that in the one of the openings on the dashboard. And then oh, these came in. These are from MPC Motorsports. So now I can finish putting on the rest of the finish washers. And then they also sent me these guys that go on the ends of the cam gears. These guys are like really awesome. They sent me those 3 smaller ones that I didn't use, and I told them, you know, basically that I needed the 3, but I also wanted the cam gear set, and this usually goes for like like $30 or something like that. Yeah, I think it's like $30 for this, and they let me have them for $15. And of course I just got these sent over for free, so they gave me a good deal on them. So, and then the last thing I got in was these. This is the brake lines that I need. I went ahead and got the actual that go to the calipers, the brake lines, instead of, you know, just the OEM ones or the Goodrich stainless steel brake lines. I got these because they have these there at on their website. And then I got this guy, which I don't know if it's actually going to work or not. I'll have to double check. But this is the clutch line, because I got I think this might be for like a OEM clutch line with the banjo bolt. So I'm gonna have to see if that's gonna fit. If not, I'm gonna have to find a banjo bolt or something that fits on there. I don't know. And then of course all the rest of the lines in here are for the brake line tuck. So I can start doing that now. And just figure out how this goes, because they don't actually send you installation instructions or anything like that. I did see some videos, but it was like for another car. So yeah, I'm gonna have to kind of just see if everything is there, and go through that, go through the kit, make sure everything is there. And but you know, like this stuff, these I can start to put on. I guess I can put on the back ones, and this guy I gotta find the dash 12s. So yeah, so I got all this stuff today in. A couple more things are coming in hopefully by the end of the week, and I can start working on it again. Alright, so I'm installing this thing, or all these lines. I got the hole drilled through the firewall to run the bulkhead fitting, and all that's kind of running, you know, no problems. The only thing right here, in the photos that they show online, there's a 90-degree fitting that comes out of here into this guy, and that's not in the packaging. It's also not in the picture of what's included. So not sure what's going on there, but yeah, that's I just ordered that. It's a 1/8 inch NPT fitting, 90-degree to a dash 3AN fitting, to that fitting right there, that flare nut. And then right here, the banjo bolt doesn't fit inside that. So I'm not sure if they're just, you know, if they sent the banjo bolt to go into a regular master cylinder, clutch master cylinder, but on the side of the actual master cylinder for the clutch, it says 1/8 inch. So both of them are actually the same, a 1/8 inch NPT fitting. I did find some online but I don't want to wait, you know, another week just to get that one fitting to do the clutch line. So I'm going to go tomorrow morning to the auto parts store and see. Maybe they might just have one in stock. I don't know. We'll see. And I started running these lines in here, which means I had to take out the dashboard again. So it's all taken apart again, and I knew I had to do that, so I run it through there. The prop valve, I think, is probably going to be mounted like right here. I don't think I'll be. I don't think I'll hit it with my knee or anything like that. So I was thinking of moving it right back here, but I don't know. It just kind of clutters up everything. So I think I'm going to put it right there. Just kind of put a self tapper or something underneath the console, and then I got to run the lines that go from, I don't know if you can see it, from right up there. One goes fitting, goes to this T fitting, and then one goes over to that side through the firewall into that left tire or left caliper, and then this the other one that tees off goes in here, goes to this side, and then I could hook up these guys, but I got to drill holes through the firewall, and I also got to drill holes through the fender wells in there and back over there. Overall, those are the only things I found that I need to get, are those fittings. And I started putting on this hose here to see if it's going to work, and it looks like it's going to work. I just gotta cut it. And there's also another outlet right there and another one right, I don't know if you can see it right there. Those, I don't remember what those go to. I'm not sure if they go to the heater core or I don't know. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of homework and find out where those go. All right, got the chase bays lines in the back end, at least, with the brake line kit. So pretty much straightforward. Just have to basically number one, put this line in first, the main brake line, route it, and then figure out where you need to drill the hole. The other side, I kind of made a mistake and drilled the hole first. I mean, it still worked, but it's stretched. It's not really stretched, just kind of, you know, I don't know. It doesn't look like this one. Then again, I might be just overcomplicating things, but yeah, I mean, it still goes on. Everything tightened up well. There's nothing kinked. So it's looks like it's gonna work. You have to just, like I say, drill a hole in there to the inside, run it to that T, through here, through the proportioning valve. I still gotta, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drill some holes and put some nutserts into the center channel, and that way I can tighten up the with some clamps with the rubber insulators on the clamps, and run it through there. And then I still need to drill the holes in the front, but you know, every time you do this you got to take off the wheels and stuff, so it's, you know, I don't know how many times I've taken off these wheels, so it's just like it's a day in the life of a car builder. But so the back end is pretty much done. Well, actually it is done. Everything's tightened up. So this side is done, like I say. So I just got to put on the wheel on that side, figure out where I need to drill the hole to run the line to the front and then connect that one. I did find a banjo bolt to connect the clutch line. So the clutch line is connected. What I ended up doing is I found a clutch line at the auto parts store, and then it said it was a 1/8 inch NPT pitch on the threading, and I tried to put it in, but I don't know, it was kind of binding. So I got a die, and I went through the threads and rethreaded it, and then I had to cut it, the banjo bolt, had to cut it about 1/4 of an inch, kind of chamfer the edge, and then install it with the crush washers, and it went in. Again, I won't know if it's even going to work until I put pressure to the line, to the slave cylinder. And I did find a 90-degree fitting for that, so I have that on order. I already got pretty much the right hand side done as far as the front goes. It's kind of like a process. You got to do it in steps, and you got to follow these steps, or else you got to redo everything over again, and that's why it's so late right now. You got to drill the hole so it goes through the firewall right there. You got to leave the bulkhead fitting loose so you can get this line in there right away. Because if you tighten it, you can't get it in, can't thread it on. So I had to loosen it up again and then thread it on, and then I got to the front end on, or all the lines on, and now this end right here goes connected to there, runs to the top, and then there's a T fitting right here, and that goes connected to the fitting that's coming through the firewall right here, right there. And then this line is connected to that one right there. There's another line kind of branching out that's underneath. You can't see it, but it branches out from there, goes to the other side, to the other brake line on that side. So yeah, it's pretty much taken me all evening to do this. I started about, I don't know, about 5 o'clock or something like that. And it's, I don't know what time it is now, about 8, I guess. So about 3 hours, I guess. I did the back end, so the back's all done. Ran the line in. Connected the clutch line, so that's done. And then tomorrow evening, I'll get up and, actually tomorrow morning, I'll get up early before I go to work and see if I could run or tighten that line that's in the inside and start running the line to this caliper, or not caliper, but the line that's on this side. So yeah, and yes, I do have rear disc brakes. I had somebody comment on a post that I had made on Facebook, and he said, oh, the only thing I would do to this car is I would tint the back windows, put the rear disc brakes, and that would be it. And I was like, well, it already has rear disc brakes. And as far as tinting the windows goes, if I do tint them, I'm going to tint all of them with a light, really light shade of a bronze color. All right, so there's the last one. You might recognize, let's see, this little guy. This was part of the ones that 100 Proof Hardware had sent me that weren't the same as the others. They were a little bit smaller. They sent me 3 of them. I used 2 on the other side and 1 here. So I mean, I have one of the other bigger ones that I could probably use there, and I mean, it'll still look good. I also had some of these finish wash, or these cup washers extra, that I used for these right here. But these are all run. They run through the firewall to the inside. All I gotta do now is connect underneath the dash. Got this done finally. So yeah, that's running through there. I'm just waiting on that 90-degree fitting so I can hook that up. The inside is done for the most part. I didn't hook up the proportioning valve because I want to run the lines underneath the carpet, and you know, run them that way. It looks a little neater. I don't know if you can see way back there. It's all hooked up. You know, if the dash was in, I don't know how I would have done it, because you got to run. The lines are so close to the pedals that are there. I can't even see it through here. There you go. Yeah, see how they kind of run in through there like that. But yeah, it's, if the dashboard was in, it would have just been a pain. But you know, what I found, if you guys ever buy this kit, the easiest way that I found to do it is to hook up all of the lines onto the fitting, the bulkhead fitting that goes through the firewall to the front. Hook all those up and tighten them, and then run the bulkhead fitting through, and then put the nut on the other side to tighten it up. That way you can figure out you know, how to clear all the stuff that's in there. So, but that's done, and this line will run back here. You gotta kind of zip tie up, you know, everything, that way it's not rubbing on the pedals and stuff like that. And then yeah, then I can start putting in the carpet. after several months of trying to locate these calipers, I finally found them. I actually purchased them through Blackhawk Racing. I had tried JPEX twice. Had to get my money back twice. JHP USA, eBay at least 3 or 4 times. And every single time they said they had them, and when I ordered them, they would email me back and saying that they were out of stock or whatever, and they would take 3 to 4 months for them to come in. And just by chance, I checked Blackhawk Racing, and they had them there. I emailed them immediately and asked them if they had them in stock, and they said, yeah, it's the last set. I was like, okay, I'm paying you right now, send me them. And in a week, they sent them to me, and here they are. I just have to buy the brake pads, which you can actually just use, your regular brake pads. You just have to grind off the little ear that's on there, and that's no problem. But I got to make sure and see if they're going to fit. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to kind of see if they bolt on. If not, I don't know. I just have a feeling they're not going to bolt on, and I'm going to have to get, a different set of knuckles. But I'm going to try it anyways and see what's happening. All right, so they do bolt on to the knuckles that are on there. But there is a but. The rotor needs to be pulled out a little bit, about maybe 1/4 of an inch, and not sure if, I got it kind of positioned on there just kind of to see how much room there is, and you can see it's kind of close, and I don't know, you can see right there, there's about, let's see if I can get a little bit closer there. There's about a 1/2 inch. There is not a 1/2 inch of material in between that rotor there, and, the thickness, the wall thickness. That's probably maybe 3/16, I guess. After doing a little bit more homework, come to find out, you need a spacer that goes in between the rotor and the hub to pull it out. And I'm not sure how thick that spacer is. It'd have to be another maybe 1/4 inch probably or so. I went ahead and where I got these rotors from, or the calipers from Blackhawk Racing, ordered the the spacers, and I went ahead and just ordered the rotors as well. After all this work of finding the hub-centric rings and going through all that crap, I should have just ordered the rotors to begin with. So I ordered the spoon rotors, the spoon spacers, and just figured, okay, I'm just going to do it right. So I'm putting in, I think in the last video I was saying that I ordered a carpet, and well, voila, here it is. Well, anyways, I did order it somehow through either the Google algorithm or Facebook algorithm. Knew that I was looking or talking about getting a carpet because all of a sudden in my feed there was a company that made molded carpets. So I ordered it. Well, I called them first because I needed it for a right-hand drive, and got all the specifics right, and like I say, I don't remember if I talked about this in the last video, but usually, you know, on the left-hand drive, it has that little plastic or rubber pad that goes on this side. I told him just to leave it off. Usually it goes on that side. Anyways, I have the floor mats, so I'm just kind of throwing it in there because it's actually you have to trim it, and it's a really, really nice carpet. It has this rubber backing, which is actually a pain in the ass to move around, and then I ordered it with that pad, you know, that goes on the bottom, and I got to pull off the staging brake and then cut around. You know, I ordered it without any of the cutouts, so I have to cut out the holes for the seats, the roll cage, the harness bar, and up front for the braces for the dashboard and stuff like that. So I'm putting in the carpet, and of course, I mean, what I'm doing is I put it in. I had to pull off the staging brake. For some reason, the bolts were somehow stripped on there. I don't know how that happened, but anyways, it took me an hour just to take off the damn staging brake. So, finally got it in, and I'm basically putting it in, kind of forming it. I mean, it's already molded, but you have to put it in place, and they make it a little bit larger. So I've been trimming, you know, the edges here, you know, just a little bit at a time, making sure not to hack it up, of course. I've pretty much got this side done, the driver's side. I just need to do the other side, and I've been trying to figure out where to mount, or I've already figured it out, but I was trying to figure out where to put this prop valve, and figured it out finally. So what I did was I just put one of these threaded inserts, you know, inside there, so I can bolt this in, make sure that's in there sturdy. And then once that is in, I've already run the brake line through the carpet underneath. So those are all set. The only thing I got to do is kind of tie them up underneath there. And then I can start putting this stuff back, and then I'm going to have to grab some more bolts that actually are not stripped for the staging brake. Alright, then got the console mounted and the valve mounted. Yeah, I just kind of cut a little bit off at a time, and yeah, there's actually quite a bit left over, or a bit of trimming, I might say. I know I still got to do a little bit more cutouts for the seat holes, for the bolts, and on both sides, and then the staging brake. But other than that, I think that's all I need to do for cutouts. The last and final thing I need to do on the inside is run this side moldings here and the trim on the bottom. And I was making a door card instead of the regular OEM panels. I had covered the inserts with this bride material, but I've seen the door cards that you can use for like track cars and stuff like that. I think they look pretty nice, and I was making one, and of course it's kind of hard when I'm at my other shop and I'm trying to make it, you know, so I gotta kind of go back and forth. I'd rather actually just make them here, that way I have the car here and take all the measurements. But yeah, I've been kind of doing a little bit of this and a little bit of that, so stuff at the shop. So, but this carpet is finally in. Took a while. Probably took me a couple of hours, I guess, because I wanted to trim a little bit at a time, make sure I didn't cut too much. So yeah, but this is done. Alright, so I got some stuff in the mail. This thing here I ordered a while back. It's you know what? These things are just ridiculously expensive. um, basically it's just gonna go inside that center console. It has the amber lens cover right there. This one's actually in really good shape, no scratches or anything like that on there. It even came with the bracket. I was afraid when I first got it because the box was completely smashed, and I thought this thing was destroyed, but no, it made it out alive. Right here I got just some hose hardware so I can run the fuel lines, kind of keep them together. And then got some new lug nuts, which I don't know if I'm even going to use them because I still want to use the raised lug nuts. So I mean these are nice and everything, but still, I don't know. We'll see after I get the calipers on, see how they work. And then this thing came in, which I'm going to try and put on now. This is the lower pulley on the crank. And this thing is surprisingly heavy. I thought, I don't know what I was thinking, but I didn't think it was going to be this heavy. I'd say it weighs probably 15 pounds maybe. Yeah, it's a big chunk of metal. But it supposedly has a fluid inside that helps dampen the vibrations. And a lot of times if you run just the lightened pulley, the aluminum ones, your bearings get worn out easy or faster, just because of the vibration. And this is supposed to alleviate that, but like I say, this thing is just a beast, man. So I'm gonna, and then I got some more bolts, because yesterday I took off that staging brake and all the bolts were stripped, or kind of, I don't know if I know what happens. They get the nylon locking nuts, and it'll only go on so far before it hits the plastic. And they think that it's the same thread, but once you get it past a certain point, either the thread pitch changes somehow, and once you tighten it, it locks in place, and there's no way of taking it out. So this time I just bought just regular stainless nuts and lock washers this time, because I don't want to go through that again. So I've got a couple of things I'm going to do today. Like I say, I swapped this out, put this in the console, and reinstall a staging brake. So what do you think? Yes or no? I don't know. I think it looks pretty good. And then when I put the spoon calipers on there, it's just gonna, I think it's gonna look good. And I got this thing on. Man, the tolerances on that fit are really, really close. I almost thought it was the wrong one. But I got it on there and it fits perfect. I mean, like I say, the tolerance on that thing is just no room for error at all. And then this guy, staging brake is on now with the new and improved stripped free bolts. And then I got this thing on as well. So that's on. And I think that's all I was going to do today. It didn't take me that long, actually. I think the hardest part was putting the bolts on that thing, because I got to reach around with my arm with the impact, and then with a Allen key to hold the nut on the other side, and then tighten it up. So yeah, that was fun. But yeah, that's what's going on. One thing I didn't try to see if the carpet had spaced out the console even more, because it was kind of touching on that one corner. But I guess I'll have to try that later on. So I guess that's all for today. So I just came in from out of town. I had to go get a couple of things, but I stopped at Harbor Freight and picked up one of these boxes so I could separate all of the bolts that I have, instead of going through the two little tubs that I have and spending, an hour just trying to find something. Yesterday I was trying to find 2 crush washers for the larger bolt that goes on top of the fuel tank, and I just looked everywhere, couldn't find them, and so I was like, all right, I just have to go get new ones. And so, I mean, I should have used new ones anyways, but I went to Harbor Freight and they had a big pack of different size crush washers that you can buy anyways. I should have probably bought 2 of these though, because I'd like to separate all these little clips and stuff like that. There was a little box that I put some of them in, but all these little things like this that are harder to find. I also did all my stainless bolts in one tub, the nuts and M6 bolts, all of the screws. All right, so here is the fuel filter mounted, and the main feed is already on. I had to kind of bend this 180 degree fitting there. Right there. Had to bend it out just a little bit so it'll clear the filter. But there's this is a replacement alternator pulley, machined out of aluminum. I couldn't find these anywhere in just like aluminum, and they were really hard to find just for the alternator for some reason. But I guess, I bought it for, weight, it'd be a little bit lighter than the other one. It don't matter, because the one that I put in the crank shaft pulley, the thing weighs like 20 pounds, so it doesn't really matter. So, and then this thing just came in, I believe. It's the other seat that I had ordered to go with the other one, so they match. Well, I'm 2 for 2, so I quit. I'm going to go inside and have some beer. Went and asked for brake pads for Acura Integra Type R for the spoon calipers. He looks up the price, and of course I have to order everything because they don't have anything in stock. He gives me these. I actually ordered them on Friday. Yeah, I ordered them on Friday. It was 4th of July on Saturday. So I had to wait Sunday, Monday, today's Tuesday. I got the parts today. I thought, well, I'll go ahead and, because when you get the brake pads, you have to shave off this thing here, and you gotta shave off the little nipple or whatever right there. So I was like, all right, let me check and see if they fit first. Well, I can tell you right now that these are not the right ones. Because they are just tiny inside that caliper. So I look up the part number online. These are for an Acura Integra GSR. So I gotta take them back tomorrow and see about finding the right one. Number 2, I went and ordered from the same place another alternator because that guy was wrong. And well, this time the ears match, so I can bolt it on. But this one was the one I had painted, and I had kind of screwed up taking off because you can see it's kind of flared out right here, as opposed to this guy. And well, this is an OBD1 plug that goes on here. That's not an OBD1 plug. So I figured, well, maybe I can just swap these out. But I don't have my harness here, so I don't know what plug it has. I know I ordered it with an OBD1 plug, but I ordered it since last year, so I'm going to check it, and see which plug it has, and hopefully everything's going to work out, because if I have to order another harness, this is, oh my god. But yeah, I guess tomorrow I'll have to return these, see if I can order some new ones, get my harness, and see which one is the right one.